From Ridley Scott, the man who brought you Alien and then spent the next 30 years trying to explain it, comes Prometheus. A film so baffling, it makes perfect sense to absolutely no one. Prepare for 2 hours of vague mythology, inexplicable character motivations, and enough unanswered questions to fill a xenomorph's acid-filled stomach. Starring Noomi Rapace, who spends the entire movie running in a sports bra and performing self-surgery. Michael Fassbender, who's basically a murderous Siri. Charlize Theron, who's somehow both a robot and a human, and also just really wants to judge you. And Idris Elba, who's just trying to get paid. Witness Prometheus, the prequel that decided prequels were for suckers and instead became a completely unrelated movie that vaguely gestures towards Alien every now and then. You'll experience a team of scientists who are inexplicably bad at science. A spaceship crew that appears to have been hired through a Craigslist ad. And a plot that veers wildly between profound philosophical questions and the most hilariously incompetent decision-making ever captured on film. From the opening scene, where a beefy space dude dramatically dissolves into a waterfall, you'll be asking yourself, what does this mean? And the answer is, absolutely nothing. Because this isn't just a movie, it's a 2-hour-long riddle wrapped in an enigma, sprinkled with space goo. Meet Elizabeth Shaw, the archaeologist who believes that ancient cave paintings are basically a cosmic GPS. And her boyfriend, Charlie Holloway, the scientist who thinks it's a good idea to drink alien black goo. Together, they lead a mission funded by the Wayland Corporation, run by the suspiciously well-preserved Peter Wayland, who's played by a heavily made-up Guy Pearce, because apparently, old people can't act themselves. Their mission? To find the engineers, the mysterious beings who created humanity. Or maybe they didn't. Or maybe they did, and then decided humanity was a bad idea, like a reality TV show that got cancelled after 1 season. So, they hop on the Prometheus, a spaceship that's apparently crewed by a bunch of people who've never seen a sci-fi movie before. Because, why else would they ignore every single red flag? Like, for example, the giant alien structure they find, which is filled with urns of black goo. Because, of course, that's what you do when you want to store your dangerous alien substances. You put them in easily breakable urns. And then, Charlie, our resident science genius, decides to take off his helmet and breathe the alien air. Because, why not? It's not like there's a history of alien planets being filled with deadly pathogens or anything. And then, he drinks the black goo. Because, apparently, the scientific method involves getting hammered on alien sludge. And then he, does the deed with Elizabeth. Because, that's what you do when you're mutating into a gooey monster. Meanwhile, Michael Fassbender's David, the creepy android, is just chilling, watching Lawrence of Arabia, and secretly poisoning everyone. Because, he's a robot, and robots are inherently untrustworthy, especially when they're played by Michael Fassbender. He's basically the HAL 9000 of this movie, except instead of playing chess, he's playing mind games and serving tea. And then, there's Charlize Theron's Meredith Vickers, who spends the entire movie walking around in a skin-tight spacesuit and judging everyone. Because, she's the corporate ice queen, and she's here to make sure everyone knows who's in charge. She's basically a robot in human form, except even robots have more emotional range. And Idris Elba's Yannick, the captain of the Prometheus, who's basically the only sane person on the ship. He's just trying to do his job, which mostly involves telling everyone they're making terrible decisions, and then watching them make those terrible decisions anyway. And then, there's the alien stuff. Because, this movie is filled with all sorts of alien stuff. There's the black goo, which can turn you into anything from a zombie to a squid monster. There's the hammerpede, a snake-like creature that's basically a phallic symbol with teeth. And there's the deacon, a proto-xenomorph that's basically a baby alien with a bad attitude. And then, there's the engineers, the giant, bald, muscular aliens who are apparently the creators of humanity. Or maybe they're not. Or maybe they are, and they're just really pissed off at us. Because, apparently, humanity's existence is an insult to the engineers. Or maybe they just had a bad day. It's hard to tell, because they don't really explain anything. And then, there's the ending, which is basically a cliffhanger that leads into a sequel that's even more confusing. Because, apparently, Ridley Scott decided that one confusing movie wasn't enough, so he made two. So, prepare for 2 hours of existential dread, scientific incompetence, alien goo, unanswered questions, and Michael Fassbender's creepy smile. Prometheus. Because, sometimes, the best way to explore the origins of humanity is to make a movie that's completely incomprehensible. Also, why is everyone so bad at running away from things? Like, seriously, they run in straight lines, directly towards danger. It's like they've never seen a horror movie before. And the self-surgery scene? Yeah, that's something. It's like a medical drama directed by David Cronenberg. And the whole Find Our Creators thing? It's like a cosmic episode of Who Do You Think You Are? Except, instead of finding out you're related to a distant cousin, you find out you're related to a bunch of angry space giants. And the spaceship? It's like a luxury cruise liner designed by someone who's never been on a cruise. And the black goo? It's like a metaphor for something. Or maybe it's just black goo. And the engineers? They're like the ancient aliens from those History Channel documentaries, except they're actually real. Or maybe they're not. And the ending? It's like a philosophical question wrapped in a monster movie, served with a side of confusion. And the whole movie? It's like a fever dream directed by Ridley Scott. So, if you're looking for a movie that will make you think, and then make you say, what the hell did I just watch? Then Prometheus is the movie for you. Because, sometimes, the best way to understand the universe is to watch a movie that makes absolutely no sense. And remember, don't drink the black goo, or trust robots, or run in straight lines, or take off your helmet on an alien planet, or, basically, don't do anything the characters in this movie do, because they're all idiots. And that's Prometheus. A movie that's as beautiful as it is baffling. A movie that's as ambitious as it is confusing. A movie that's as gooey as it is. Well, you get the idea. And now, prepare for the sequel, Alien, Covenant, where they'll probably explain everything. Or maybe they won't. Who knows? Because Ridley Scott.